back to my channel. This week I'm doing something a little bit different. A very good friend of mine, Dana Louise Provo, an author, is going to be here today to tell us all about her book, Bleeding Hearts. Now last October, Dana messaged me and was like, hey, I finished this book, would you want to read it, maybe edit it a little bit, and kind of like help me through this first editing of the draft? And I was like, yeah, of course. She took it all the way. So I'm so happy for her, so excited for her. Today is actually the day of her cover release party, which is going on right now. It is a virtual release party. I will leave all the links for it down below. They are doing authors that are hosting, and they're also doing giveaways, so if you want to check that out, definitely do. But I'm going to have Dana here to answer a few questions about her book and herself, so I hope you guys enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Dana Louise Provo, and I'm here to talk to you about my new book, Bleeding Hearts.
Alright, so first things first, what is Bleeding Hearts about?
It's a romantic suspense about a young woman who's successful in all aspects of her life except for love. And she wants to find that somebody special that she could spend the rest of her life with. And so she accepts a ride from a handsome stranger without knowing who he is or where he lives or where he works or anything. And when she starts this relationship with him, she thinks it's a good thing and she starts to fall in love with him, but she didn't know that he was going to be her downfall. She didn't realize he was going to turn her life upside down.
What inspired you to write Bleeding Hearts?
So I've always wanted to write a romance novel, and I kind of wanted to make it scary, so I came up with a romance suspense, and I wanted to write how wrong relationships could turn. So that's kind of how the idea of Cammy meeting a serial killer and falling in love with him came from.
Did you just start writing it, or did you plan it out first?
So I initially wrote the first chapter and then thought about what I wanted to do in the book. And then I wrote a detailed outline of what I wanted to happen in each chapter. There were a few blank chapters that I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but pretty much the whole book was planned out before I started writing it.
Now I know you wrote the first draft pretty quickly. Did you ever have writer's block as an issue?
So since I had this whole book outlined, it was really easy for me to write. I knew exactly what I wanted in each chapter. There was one chapter kind of towards the end of the book, maybe around chapter 20, that I just couldn't write it. It took me a week, which was a long time for writing this book. But after I got finished with that chapter, then it was smooth sailing from there.
Now I know you're working on other things to follow Bleeding Hearts. Did you always know that you wanted it to be a trilogy, or was it something that just kind of happened as you were writing Bleeding Hearts?
Originally, this was supposed to be a standalone novel, no sequels. Then towards the end, when I was sharing it with one of my beta readers, she really wanted me to write a sequel. And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it. It wasn't until I was editing that I started getting ideas for a sequel. And so then I just knew there had to be another book. There needs to be more stories told with these characters. Recently, within the last couple of weeks, I have come up with a third book. So I've rearranged the sequels. There's actually going to be 2 more books after this.
What do you do when you aren't writing?
I have a full-time job. I also own 2 horses and go to the barn a lot. My husband and I like to go to the movies and go out to eat. I'm very crafty, so I like to do crafts. I also like to read and just kind of hang out and have fun.
What are you currently reading?
Right now I'm reading a Clean Reads novel. It's called Duchess of Earl by J.L. Salter. It's a contemporary romance with a tweak on Regency. So you get a little bit of both. It's a great read. I think everybody should check it out. You can find them on Facebook. You can buy the book on Amazon like I did.
If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Definitely France. That's the #1 place that I've always wanted to go. I love everything about France. The culture, the language, I just think it would be a great place to visit.
Could you give us a teaser of Bleeding Hearts? Maybe read a little for us?
So I'm going to give you a little teaser of my book. I'm going to read a portion of the first chapter. Chapter 1, March 5th, 2015. My arm trembles as I grip the cool handle of my pistol, keeping a firm grasp to ensure it doesn't slip out of my sweaty hand. It usually stands sentry in my left nightstand to scare the nightmares away, but this isn't a dream. The room is dark and hides the face of the man whose intent is to kill me, but I know who he is. A metallic taste fills my mouth. I want to gag. My blood drips off the blade in his hand in slow, steady beats on the carpet. My arms shake as I lift the barrel and point it in his direction. He doesn't move. His heavy breaths alert me to the meager distance between us. We're at a stalemate. A soft glow from the lamppost just outside my window casts a sliver of light on his face. His dark, beady eyes that I have grown to know rake over my body like I'm another one of his many victims. He lifts the edges of his mouth into a smile. My heart plunges into my stomach. I know what that sinister expression means, and I think back to all the times he had looked at me like that before. I had been so blind. Well, there you have it. That is the beginning of Chapter 1 of Bleeding Hearts.
And when and where is this book going to be available?
So my book, Bleeding Hearts, is going to be available August 25th, 2016, first thing in the morning, on Amazon, iTunes, and Barnes & Noble for ebook.
Alright, Dana, thank you so much for being here today on my channel. I've really loved talking and hanging out with you and chatting, and this has been a cool new experience for me for having someone virtually be on my channel. So it's been really fun. You guys, Bleeding Hearts is an amazing suspense romantic novel, and it's absolutely amazing, and if you guys are into that, you can totally check it out. I'm going to leave all of Dana's links down below for all of her blog pages, so if you want to find out more about what's going on with her, you can definitely do that. If you guys want to see more things like this on my channel, please leave me a comment down below, like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!